Hey guys, Per here from Into Fly Fishing and welcome to yet another fly tying tutorial. In the vise today I've got a fly called the RS2, an exceptional fly that can be used as a nymph, an emerger, and as I like to fish it, a dry fly. This fly tying tutorial is brought to you by Moonshine Rods Co. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check the links in the video description below to see my full hands-on look at their Epiphany 3-weight 10-foot 6-inch Euro nymphing rod, coming in at around $280, including an extra tip section. I think this is one of the best value Euro nymphing rods on the market today. The tools you need to tie the RS2 is a vise, a bobbin holder for the thread, a pair of scissors and a whip finishing tool. So to get started, I've got a Hanak H130BL in a size 18 dry fly hook in the vise. Any standard shank dry fly hook will work perfectly, although you need to tie these flies in sizes ranging from 16 to about a 22 or a 24. Make sure that the hook shank is level and that the hook is secured properly. Attach the tying thread about 1/4 of the hook shank length behind the eye. Run the thread over itself to lock it in place and cut off the excess. Do not discard this piece of tying thread you just cut off, as we'll use this tying thread to split the tail later on. For the tail, I'm using microfibbets in the color olive. These are readily available in fly tying shops. All that we're going to do is break off 2 fibbets and make sure that the tips align. Measure the fibbets to be about twice the hook shank length and tie them in on top of the hook shank. Now run the thread all the way back, securing the fibbets up to where the bend of the hook starts. Now grab that tying thread that you cut off and wrap it around the bend of the hook underneath the fibbets. Grab it in your non-tying hand and split the fibbets with a bodkin and then place the tying thread in between them, like so. Now pull the tying thread that you just tied in over the top of the hook shank and secure with your thread. This will force the fibbets open, like you can see there. Trim off the excess, both materials, and just clear the abdomen area. Run the thread back, open turns and stop just at the base of the tail. For the abdomen, I'm using Superfine dry fly dubbing in the color blue dun. You can use any color you want, just make sure that the dubbing is nice and fine. Attach it to your thread and form an extremely narrow and slender dubbing noodle. Bring it as close to the body of the fly as possible and make the first wrap behind the fibbets or underneath the fibbets to pick them up, and then make one wrap on top of them. This will force them up and secure them even better. Now twist the dubbing noodle again and advance your thread and dubbing noodle forward. Just want to add a little bit more to create a slightly thicker body. Something like that. I'm going to stop the abdomen about 2/3 of the hook shank length forward. I'm going to add a little bit more dubbing as I'm slightly short. Around there is fine. Now I grab 2 CDC feathers with very thin stems and fluffy fibers. Place their tips against each other and I rotate the feather to force all the fibers into the direction of the tips. Now I'll place the feather on top of the hook shank and I just secure a couple thread wraps, a couple more, and I cut off the excess here at the base. Cover again with thread. This will also prevent the feathers from rotating. Now for a dark thorax, I'm using the same dry fly dubbing as earlier but in the color black. Once again, form a very slender and narrow dubbing noodle on the thread. pull the CDC fibers up and make 2 wraps of the black dubbing noodle behind it. This will force them up and form a thorax between the wing and the eye of the hook. Take your whip finishing tool and do a 3 or a 4 turn whip finish, being careful not to overcrowd the eye. Trim off your thread. Pull up all the CDC fibers, being careful not to grab your fibbet tail. Grab a pair of scissors and come in at a 45-degree angle to the shank and make one trim. Trim off the fibers that are slightly too long. And there you have it, the completed RS2 in a blue dun and black color. I hope that you found this fly tying tutorial helpful, and if you did, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications. And I can let you know as soon as I release any more fly tying tutorials. Until we see each other next time, cheers.